Tonight on BBC Radio Derby, it's all about the fourth round of the EFL Cup. Burton Albion, the first time they have played at this stage of the competition against Nottingham Forest. Both sides looking for a place in the quarter-finals of the competition. What an achievement it would be if the Brewers can make it. A very bright scene down below with Burton Albion in their yellow shirts. Nottingham Forest, of course, no need to deviate from their traditional red shirts. Plenty of Nottingham Forest fans have made the short journey, and they are in the east stand away to our right-hand side, all standing. And it's great when you look across to any terrace because you don't really see bodies, you just see lots of heads and bright hats. And it's a very traditional scene here at the Pirelli Stadium, as of course we know, with three of the stands terraced. This one that we are in, the main stand, is an all-seater. Tony, where is this game won and lost?
First goal.
First goal.
To me, it is the first goal. If Burton get the first goal, their tails will be up and they'll think they've got every chance of going through. You just don't want to get Forest, get one or two and make it a very uphill task against the experienced squad. And
actually keeping the away crowd quiet. You often talk about keeping the home crowd quiet, but they're a boisterous lot over there. If they can calm them down early, then that's a great start to the game.
Yeah, I think it's all about, Burton start positive on the front foot. They've got a couple of big attacking players back in Fraser and Templeton. And big night, Boyce. Boyce is the key to me. Obviously Forest will identify him as a key man, but if he can tie up the two centre halves, a little bit of space for Allen and Fraser to get close to him.
And you mentioned the lack of mobility, shall we say, in Michael Dawson and also Michael Heffeler. They are two very big centre halves, and Boyce will fancy his chances because not only is he's got a bit of pace to him, but he's very good at holding the ball up as well.
Yeah, he's got a strong upper body. Upper core, and he does hold the ball up, sticks his backside out, makes not as good as Akins at that. He's probably the best in this division, but he does hold the ball up well, and he's very precise with his passes. We saw that at Portsmouth last week, where towards the end of the game Cole went up front and he dropped into like the number 10 position, and it was almost like what Nigel Clough and Teddy Sheringham used to do, just that little short deft passes into runners and things, and you could actually see him playing that role in the future.
Without being rude to Akins, he's got more of a backside to work with as well.
Well, as we heard, the tragic scenes on Saturday with Vichai Siwat Anaprabha tragically losing his life in a helicopter crash. It really did rock the footballing community. All the players will be wearing black armbands, and we will now have a minute's applause before the game on the referee's whistle to pay respects to Vichai Siwat Anaprabha, the Leicester City owner, and the four people who tragically lost their lives on Saturday evening.
We'd ask you to be upstanding and join us in a minute's applause, which will start and finish on the referee's whistle.
Well, we are fortunate to be in a terrific area for football with so many great rivalries. Burton Albion, Derby County, Leicester City, Nottingham Forest, but we all were rocked by Saturday's events. And it's great to see everyone come together and pay their respects. It's Burton Albion against Nottingham Forest, a place in the quarter-finals of the EFL Cup at stake. Your commentary team, Tony Bentley and Mike Perkins.
Here we go then, ladies and gents. You're listening to Sports Scene on BBC Radio Derby. Burton Albion v Nottingham Forest. The Brewers in their yellow shirts, black shorts and yellow socks. Forest in red shirts and white shorts and red socks, and they get us underway with Dawson launching the ball into the left back area where Akins is up against the only man to retain his place from Forest lineup on Saturday, Matty Cash, the 21-year-old. I suppose his legs are young enough, they might say. The Brewers side is Evtimov in goal. Akins has just taken the throw in down the line at left back. McFadzean and Brayford, the centre halves. Fox at right back. Quinn, Allen and Fraser are the midfield three, and Hesketh, who's wide on the right, just closing down the full back. Osborne for Forest. Then it's Templeton wide on the left, and Boyce leads the line up front. The ball's back with Evtimov. It's 0-0, and he's passing it out to Brayford, who leaves it to Fox, and then comes to Quinn. Brayford picks it up again, and he knocks it to his left to McFadzean. Burton just keeping it at the back. An interception as the ball goes forward. Watson picks it up, scored in the FA Cup final, of course, for Wigan Athletic in the upset against Manchester City back in 2013. He gets the ball from Evtimov again, and then Cash goes past his man, he slides it through. Evtimov's going to have to be quick off his line, and he is, and it was offside anyway, so all of that was immaterial. A quick start to the game, Tony Bentley.
It all came though from a poor kick out from Evtimov, and 2 passes later, unfortunately, he strolled offside there, the striker.
Well, he will be looking to impress on a big night. The Forest lineup, Steele in goal. It's Osborne, Dawson, Heffler and Yanko from left to right across the back. It's Brigcutt and Watson sitting in front of them in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Diaz wide on the left, Cash wide on the right. It's Gonsalves in behind the striker Soudani, who's the Algerian-born 30-year-old who's up front. Only started 1 game so far this season, but he does have 2 goals to his name, so it's clearly caught the eye of Artur Karanka, the Nottingham Forest manager, and that long ball is headed back to Evtimov, who's had a good number of early touches, and he's getting another one here with his left boot, and it's long and high up towards Boyce, who collides with Heffler, and it comes down to Allen, who's scrapping about as he often does, often goes unnoticed in that role supporting the striker, and Burton will have to be all about this. Big opportunity for them this evening as the ball goes back to Steele, who had that eventful first round match as we were mentioning in the build up, and it goes down the line to Cash once again. I'm sure we've, as well as the Brewers fans this evening, got 1 or 2 Rams fans as well checking in on the old enemy ahead of their trip to Stamford Bridge tomorrow night, and it's the old enemy, so to speak, certainly when you're on BBC Radio Derby, who have the ball, and it's Dawson at the back. I've already been told off from our good friend sitting next to us in the director's box for not wearing a hat on such a cold night, Tony Bentley, and I will maybe rectify that as the season goes on. The ball's been played out to the right foot centre half Heffler, and it's up towards Gonsalves. He can't quite control it though, and Dawson will bring it under control with his chest. He's put under pressure by Boyce as he gets it back, and Fraser's already chasing down the long-haired Heffler, who humps it up the pitch towards McFadzean, who wanted to head it and almost ended up bent over double as he had to, but it's back harmlessly to Evtimov. Score remains 0-0 in the early stages.
I'm not sure what McFadzean was trying to do there.
We often see Akins going down because he likes to chest the ball onto his knees sometimes, and then somehow manages to spring back up. Diaz has lost it here to Hesketh, who keeps it in play neatly, and then finds Allen, who tries to help it on its way to Boyce, and he wins the first free kick of the game, or the, well, second free kick, but the first free kick from a foul, and it will be Quinn to immediately place it for Burton.
There's no point taking it. Well, they are taking it quick.
He does take it quickly down the right-hand side of the box, looking for Allen, and as if to prove your point, Tony Bentley, it skipped out off the slick green turf for a goal kick.
Yeah, and it's got the chance there to settle down, put the ball into the box, and by taking it quick, it's gone straight out for the goal kick, and any pressure they could exert is already gone.
Well, Forest have it again at the back. Nigel Clough won each of his last 8 League Cup matches against non-Premier League opposition, so perhaps that bodes well for Burton Albion. Most of those have been with Burton, of course. In each of his last 5 against non-Premier League opposition have been won by Nigel Clough as Burton Albion manager, so he'll be trying to build on that this evening. It has the feel of a night that could have a cup upset in it, as Fox takes the ball, right corner of the Burton area, clears only as far as Osborne. He finds Watson, who feeds it through neatly, and Gonsalves will feed it through, looking for Soudani. It breaks for him fortuitously off a Burton player. He puts the cross in from the left. McFadzean's there, and it goes over his own crossbar and out for the first corner kick of the game from the left. It's one of those things that it is nonsense ultimately saying it feels like a good night for a cup upset, but it does have that feel, just the cool in the air, the way almost we'll see the frost falling through the floodlights later on. It feels if Forest don't fancy this, they could be in trouble, Tony.
I hope so, but that was a little bit fortunate with that, getting that corner. Fox's clearance hit Quinn and just bounced out in their favour, and fortunately McFadzean taking no chances, hooked it over his own bar.
6 minutes played, it's into the box and headed over the crossbar by Dawson, but he was never really going to keep that down. He was above the height of the crossbar when he connected with it. Was some power and it's over the top, but first shot of the game not on target from Forest, but 6 minutes played, it's still 0-0 the score.
It's got to be careful, haven't they? The two big centre halves coming up for that situation. Burton haven't got a lot of height out there defensive wise. Akins and McFadzean are probably the two tallest players, with Fraser the third.
Yeah, very much a makeshift back four for Burton Albion this evening. They're lacking in left backs. McCrory and Hutchinson both aren't fit. Neither's Turner, who can cover that position. So Akins has willingly, as always, gone over to fill it, and now his yellow-shirted teammates will try and build something, but Templeton couldn't keep control for Burton, and Forest clear up towards Brayford, who was wearing a neat little shiner under his eye after Saturday's game against Peterborough United. I noticed whilst interviewing him that he shrugged it off and just gave me a slight grin to say it's nothing he hasn't had before. Ball given away to Quinn by Forest in the midfield, and Burton are on the attack. It's Liam Boyce, he's going to feed it down the left of the penalty area to Templeton. One cuts onto his right foot, shoots, blocked by Dawson in the 6-yard area. Good sliding block by the Forest number 20. First shot of the game for Burton Albion, but it's been blocked. Templeton just cutting in there and causing problems.
Yeah, it's a pity really. You say cut inside, he didn't get it past the first defender. You wanted to test Steele out early on.
0-0 the score after 7 minutes, and Boyce can't quite keep that one in play. Good block there by Dawson in his own 6-yard area, sliding across in front of his keeper Steele, who's all in blue, and slides the ball out. And now Diaz is going to try and get in behind Fox, who wins a header and prevents him getting in behind him, which is a good start from Fox. It's a position we're keen to see him play and see what he can do there, as Osborne tries to take it forward in his own half and gives away a free kick as Hesketh took it off him and was then fouled. Burton looking to take it quickly and keep the tempo going, but they'll just take it short instead to Fraser now. Over it goes to Akins, who chests it past his man and then gets fouled again. The referee's been very tight on the set plays, but Burton seems to want to take it quick and just keep the game moving.
Well, they want to keep moving the ball from side to side, don't they? Not letting Forest get settled.
Two meetings whilst these sides were in the Championship here in East Staffordshire. One ending 1-0 to Burton Albion, the other one 0-0, so low scoring affairs, but we will see what this evening produces. Played forward to Quinn, slides it down the line to Templeton, back it goes to Akins. Now it comes to McFadzean. He's going to hit it long across the pitch. Hesketh will take it on his chest, out in the wide right attacking position this evening. Forward it goes to Boyce, got a bit of space, and he chips it on, looking for the run of Allen. Always seems to be there, Allen. His cross is blocked, but he'll produce a, well, he's arguing with the linesman because it's been given as a goal kick.
Yeah, he just got lent on there, didn't he? That was the good play in that sense. Diaz just tracked back there and as he was trying to play the cross, but a good little deft touch from Boyce there. And that's what we're saying. If they get the ball into Boyce, he gets the space. He will pick the runners out with a pass.
He certainly will, and he'll got given an alarming amount of space. Actually, the sort of space we haven't seen him given in League One in recent weeks. And I think Forest will have to keep an eye on that. If they've not done their homework, Liam Boyce will certainly be one who can punish them. It's back with Luke Steele, who, as we say, scored a penalty on debut in having come on for Jordan Smith, who was sent off in the first round of this competition this season. And it was a 21 kick shootout that he saved the last one of to send Forest through against League 2 opposition. They're up against League 1 opposition tonight in the form of Burton Albion, and that's why we're here for you on BBC Radio Derby. Hesketh feeding the ball into Liam Boyce. It comes back looking for Quinn, he gets nowhere near it and ends up fouling Gonsalves, and he goes to the floor.
Yeah, it's a pity the ball went inside there. Hesketh had continued his run there and it was just a little bit short for Quinn, and he couldn't do anything else but foul the man. But good work from McFadzean there. Tracked the run, didn't he, of Soudani. Took the ball off him and kept it in down the line.
Yeah, usually enough. Wearing a number 2 up front is Soudani, the Algerian. As the ball's played out to Osborne, Spondon man checks inside and then uses Diaz back to Bridcut. And Bridcut back to Dawson. Feeds it down the left again to Osborne. Obviously can play on the wing as well, as Bridcut comes into the box and tries to sneak away from Stephen Quinn. And then it comes back to the edge of the box and it's going to be shot by Gonsalves, but it's blocked and Fraser will come away with the ball. Looks to find Boyce on halfway, can't do so. It's back to the the long-haired Hefele. And he uses Steele. Forest content to try and keep it at the back, although Burton will put the press on, and Fraser nearly wins it for Templeton. Does gain control of the ball now. Feeds Templeton on the left. Cuts in on his right foot, puts the ball across goal, but straight into the arms of Steele, who'll roll it out. 0-0 the score. We're in the 11th minute. Watson spreads it across. Gonsalves will head over there to pick it up off the boot of Akins. And Forest finding a little bit of space with Cash, who puts the ball in to Soudani. Has a shot. Good save by Evtimov, but it was offside. The linesman's flag up. Second time Forest have been penalised in the game. Good shot, stop nonetheless from Evtimov.
Yeah, the keeper's always going to play, isn't he, to the whistle, but the flag was up as soon as the ball was played through. That's what Burton got to be mindful, isn't it? Quick counter-attack and quick ball into the middle.
Cash now 21, but he made his debut in that 4-3 game at the City Ground that Burton Albion were almost able to win in Nigel Clough's first visit with the Brewers to Forest. There's been 3 more since. Forest have won the 2 at the City Ground, but Burton have won 1 and drawn 1 here at the Pirelli Stadium. And that will be a result that will at very least give them a penalty shootout if the scores remain 0-0. Or it could be a 1-0 win for Burton Albion. You certainly take that at home, Brewers fans. But it's Forest on the ball in their own half as a drip comes from the earlier rain. It's early this morning, so it's strange that the top of the stand, the south stand, still dripping in front of myself and Tony Bentley. You haven't been able to save your usual seat tonight. It's all rather crammed here, although I see there is one spare next to Chris Coles down the row as the ball goes forward, and it's going to be chipped over, looking for Gonsalves. He can't control it though, and Hesketh will come back and tidy up, and he feeds it back to Evtimov, but he prefers his left boot, and it made it a bit of an awkward clearance that didn't quite make it to halfway.
You won't mind that. He's cleared the pressure, hasn't it, in that situation, but you can always see that Forest looking to pass their way through the Burton defence whenever they can.
Osborne threatening to take the throw in. A few little gaps at the end of the west stand behind Evtimov's goal that Burton are defending in the first half, and as we look to our left, that's where Forest are attacking now. Diaz trying to go past Fox, does go past Fox. He's going to look to cut the ball back to red shirts. It was blocked by Brayford, who came across, and it's out for a corner kick.
Yeah, he got Fox a little bit too easy there, didn't he? Drove along the byline, but Brayford and Evtimov have not given an easy pass across the box, and the attempted pull across the goal line there, knocked out for the second corner to the visitors.
It's noticeable the height of Dawson and Hefele here coming forward compared to the Burton players, isn't it? They're going towards the back post at the moment.
Yeah, I think they'd be happier if the back post than one of them making a run at the near post. 14
minutes of the game gone, 0-0 the score. Osborne with a kick from the left. Burton defend it well. It's Brayford who's up once again. Even despite his lack of height, he's a very capable centre-back when he needs to be. And then Fox is lumping this down the line. Brilliant touch by Templeton to keep it in play, and he had to be tackled by the right back who'd come right across with him, Yanko, and needed to be there because Templeton brought it down superbly, pushing the back of Quinn's head from Diaz, which I don't recommend because Quinn will get you back for that, as Gonsalves puts it into the centre-back McFadzean for Burton, who has control of the ball once again. Uses Quinn. Now the long-haired Brayford. Players wearing black armbands tonight in memory of those who died outside Leicester City Stadium on Saturday night in a helicopter crash, including the club's owner. Boyce brings it under control now off Hefele, and immediately the ball will be chipped into the box looking for Fraser, but he couldn't quite get there, and the apologies were forthcoming from Hesketh, who drifted over to that left-hand side.
Well, the swap, you know, Templeton's come out on the right, Hesketh's on the left, just to see what's happening.
Yeah, and of course Templeton came on and played that role at the weekend and looked very effective. I think they were planning to switch him over to the left and then thought better of it, but it didn't produce the second goal that Burton needed for a point on that occasion. Forest have been in good form since their last League Cup win away from home, taking 7 from 9 available points since they beat Stoke City at the City Ground in the last round of this competition. Watson jumping all over Jamie Allen this time, and another free kick given away by Forest. They don't seem shy of giving them away as soon as Burton come into the Forest half.
I think they're under orders not to let Burton settle, aren't they, too much?
Oh, that would have been a good through ball from Fox there, but it was just cut out by Osborne, and now he's breaking into the Burton half, but he's asked a lot of There's another youngster, Cash, there, who's knocked it past Akins, and then there's a tussle going on without the ball anywhere near it, but Akins gets to the ball first and is not penalised. Fraser is going to look to split the play to Templeton. Poor pass though, straight to Diaz, and this was the sort of thing that gave Peterborough their goals at the weekend. Gonsalves is going to step through challenges, he's going to shoot, but over the top left corner of Evtimov's Sbarra, and that was a little bit of a let-off for Burton there.
But let's just go back a minute. That play by Akins, he was miles behind. That wasn't he out in that wing, and he just sort of switched on a gear, got his body in front of them, then took the ball off him and played it out. That was absolutely brilliant defence from Lucas Akins to take the ball off Matty Cash, who'd had such a head start.
Yeah, and he's not a natural left footer, is Akins, and he's playing over at left back this afternoon. He's got the black armband on one sleeve and the captain's armband on the other tonight for Burton Albion. It's another yellow shirted player, Allen, with an overhead kick forward, but it bounces straight through to Steele. And even with his defensive duties, Lucas Akins, he's still produced 2 goals and 3 assists so far this season as the ball goes into the centre circle, and Akins is the man dispossessing his opponent. Matty Cash goes out to the left to Hesketh, and then as it goes back there, it's out of play, and 0-0 the score. 17 minutes of this match here in East Staffordshire this evening between Burton Albion and Nottingham Forest. You're listening to BBC Radio Derby with Mike Perkins and Tony Bentley. Chris Coles is here because it's a big evening, and that means Sports Scene are out in force, as you would expect. Good work from McFadzean to come across and tidy up, and he draws the foul. Forest already stick a bar across the 4 slashes they've given. Scores elsewhere, Chris Coles, in the early stages.
Yes, I may as well update you, and there are no scores elsewhere. Everywhere is 0-0. Sutton 0, Chesterfield 0 in the National League, FC United of Manchester 0, Alfreton 0 in National League North, and the other EFL Cup 4th round tie tonight is goalless down at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth 0, Norwich 0.
Goal kick, or free kick rather, played forward to Hesketh, and then it bounces out of play on the left back area of Nottingham Forest, and Burton will have to bide their time for another attack. And well, that's a clear foul by Soudani, just barging Brayford off the ball. I don't know how he thought he was going to get away with that, but he nonetheless tried. As we say, keeping an eye on the non-league football as well on Sports Scene this evening, but it's been a cagey start to this game. We're into the 19th minute and Burton are giving it away again, and this seems to be the main way they concede goals, is by actually their own mistakes, giving away passes in the midfield and putting pressure on the back four. It's a makeshift back four who've won it back. Fox at right back doing the duties. Poor pass by Quinn though into Allen, and Allen draws the free kick and does well to retain the football for Burton Albion.
I think Burton will be quite pleased that the Forest don't actually look a threat unless Burton give them the ball.
But that seems to be how Burton are giving away most of their goals at the moment, which is, I suppose it means if they put it right, they're going to be really onto something. But down the left, Burton are attacking, and it's going to be fed forward to Boyce. Boyce with his back to goal, and he feeds in Fraser on the left-hand side. Templeton already making a run to the box. Comes to Boyce, edge of the 6-yard area, shoots, good save by Steele down to his left. Got his palm on the ball and was able to stop Burton scoring the first goal of this game. It remains 0-0 after 20 minutes. Great chance for Liam Boyce, just broke to him and he tested Steele across his body but just couldn't get it past the man all in blue between the sticks for Nottingham Forest.
No, the angle's completely against it. He did so well to make space to get the shot away in the first place. He's gone to try and catch the keeper unawares at his near post, and the keeper's made a good block.
Scored from a similar angle with his head against Southend United when Fraser retrieved a ball that had gone out to the left, and he sort of headed that one into the ground up and over the keeper, but Steele was a lot better set this time and had a lot more time to prepare, and even though the space opened up for Boyce when he shot to the keeper's left, the goalkeeper was able to get a firm hand on it. But twice Burton have led to blocks being needed in the 6-yard area, one from the goalkeeper, one from the centre back Dawson. At the other end, Forest have gone over the bar on 2 occasions. And that's encouraging signs for Burton as Templeton heads it down to Fraser, who feeds it through to Boyce, who's got all sorts of space on the edge of the box. The flag isn't up, but Boyce just was shut down. He's still got the ball though, left hand side of the penalty area, looking for the first goal of the game. 21st minute, in it comes, but it's headed away at the near post by Dawson, once again defending well in his 6-yard area, and then it's been given away by Burton Albion. They put pressure on themselves again, and it's going to be Diaz running forward against Fox. Fox has got work to do. The 19-year-old puts Diaz out to the left hand side, but he's going to play a 1-2 back into the box, and then Fox gets across him, and he's going to let this go for a goal kick. Good defending from Ben Fox, but again Burton Albion opening themselves up.
Just with a careless header, wasn't it, from McFadzean there, and 2 passes later and Burton up against it, but Fox did very, very well there. Forest tried to play the 1-2, didn't they, to set him back through.
At the other end, huge amount of space again for Liam Boyce, just couldn't make the most of it.
Yeah, he's causing some problems, isn't he? We say if they get the ball into feet, he will cause problems against teams no matter what level we're playing at.
Voice of Tony Bentley once again on BBC Radio Derbies with Mike Perkins, myself and Chris Coles tonight on Sports Scene on 11:16 AM. If you want the top floor, that is currently on all other frequencies. As Fox picks it up for Burton Albion, it's back to Quinn. Quinn towards Hesketh on the right. Hesketh inside, can't find Allen. Poor pass forward to him. And Brigcutt will slide it on now, looking for Gonsalves. McFadzean slipped slightly and it threatened to open Burton up again, but Akins was there with a block, stopping the ball going out to the right hand side where Cash would have surely been in. Heffler chests it down, knocks it on, looking for Cash once more. Forest 14. He's forced out of play, but he gets a Forest throw in.
Yeah, it's a good little battle over on that side, isn't it, Cash and Akins?
I think Akins would like it to be going the other way. He'd like to be running at Cash in the fullback position, but no such luxuries for the League One side up against Championship opposition this evening. Chipped forward looking for Soudani, and the flag does go up. Burton players that were convinced, and it was a good job the referee or the linesman on that far side agreed, but he certainly did. Soudani's got to be careful here. He's having a talking to from the referee because he chipped that over the bar for absolutely no reason.
Foreign impetulance.
The Algerian-born 30-year-old playing up front for Forest this evening. He knocked it over the crossbar. Algeria, a tough team over the years in World Cup competitions, and Soudani will no doubt be looking to be involved in them in the future. In Championship football at the moment, we're past the halfway point of the first half, and it's been honours even so far. Forest with 2 shots wide of the goal, and over the crossbar in fact, and Burton Albion testing Steele through Boyce and testing Dawson's sliding defensive technique through Templeton, but neither of them able to break the deadlock. 0-0 the score. We're into the 24th minute.
Just a second free kick Burton had given away, but because of the angle, the 2 centre-halves are coming up for this one.
Yeah, and they are noticeably taller than most of the Burton Albion players. I think only Akins and McFadzean can match them, and they're already peeling off towards Fox. Boyce has gone in there to help him. We know he can get up and head a ball defensively as well as offensively. Diaz peeling off the back here as well. Heffler's slightly further forward, but he's should be marshalled by McFadzean, although he's got Soudani to deal with as well, but Quinn deals with it quite easily, booting it out for a throw-in.
You don't mind if it doesn't meet the first man, does it? And when the first man's able to volley it out, just sort of ankle height, is even better.
Yeah, he's quite happy with that one. Was Quinn, who's come in and had quite an impact in the Burton Albion team, as Templeton knocks the ball away to the right hand side of the Forest attack. They have to come back now to Watson. He finds Heffler. Heffler slides it on down the line, and now there's going to be a chance for a 1-2 to be played on the edge of the box, but again Soudani is left frustrated and Akins will clear it forward. Watson heads it across and it's into the path of Allen breaking up forward. I often feel sorry for Allen because his contributions almost go unnoticed, because he's always willing to get forward and join in the attacks, but he often is dealing with poor passes or breaking balls off opposition players like that. But he's got 3 goals this season in all competitions as a reward for his efforts so far, and he's already up chasing the ball back to the goalkeeper Steele now. It's over Hesketh's head in the 25th minute as Forest try to break out their own half, but Osborne has to go back to Dawson once more. Heffler has it right to the centre circle. Forest, you feel, just happy to be patient at the moment as it goes forward again to Diaz, who loses it, and then Brayford and Fox play a 1-2, a 3-4, a 5 and a 6, and then clear it into the Forest half. Now it comes to Bridcut, and then out to Osborne, and then the 1-2-3-4 will be played by Diaz and Osborne this time. Just seemed as if they wanted to feel the ball on their boots for a second. Diaz feels it again on his boots now, and he's going to be able to feed in Osborne down the left-hand side for Forest. Chance for him to cross, pulls it back, but doesn't get it past Quinn, who's doing good defending, but then Fox can't clear. Soudani will put it across goal, but there's no one coming in at the back post. Cash was arriving a little late, and it will run out for a Burton throw-in on the far side.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit off balance there, Fox. He just gifted it away, didn't he, unfortunately, but I'd like to see Burton get the ball out to Hesketh a little bit more. He's been a little bit, underused out on this side.
His 12th appearance in all competitions tonight. 4th time he's played in a cup competition, as the ball goes back to Dawson. He feeds it forward, but Boyce is quickly closing down. And then Watson, the FA Cup winner, steps over the ball and plays it back to his goalkeeper Steele. And Forest are going nowhere in particular at the moment. In fact, they're going back towards their own goal, if anything. See a little bit of steam coming off the top of one of the cooling pipes of the factory over there. That's just about all that's visible of the view behind the north stand, which has Burton Albion supporters looking on, waiting for their team to have an impact against the Championship side. Boyce has gone closest in the game so far, but it's defending for Burton to do again. Cash up against Akins on the right side of the Burton penalty area. Cash gets the better of him for the first time, but it comes up off the foot of the defender, McFadzean I think it was there, and into the arms of Evtimov, dressed all in light green.
He's not been beaten many times, has he, Akins there, but Cash just got to the byline, pulled that ball back, unfortunately it caught McFadzean.
Yeah, it's the first time I really recall Cash being able to get past him and get a meaningful cross in. Bridcut with fluffy black hair on top of his head. And then it's over to Heffler with almost, if you wouldn't know what Jimmy Bullard, the footballer, looks like, Heffler's not too dissimilar in terms of haircut at least. He's a little bit taller and
a lot
stronger.
Got a goal up in Manchester. FC United lead Alfreton by 1-0. One thing I always notice at this place, and I don't know any other club that does it, is the familiarity of the scoreboard. It's always Brewers, obviously, but I've noticed that it's Forest rather than Nottingham Forest. And when I was here many moons ago, when Birmingham City were here, it was Blues. I don't know any other club that does that. I like it.
It might just be it's quite a new scoreboard and they've not learned quite how to program in the longer letters yet. I don't know, but
possibly.
Yeah, it does seem a nice touch, and it's
It said posh on Saturday.
It did say posh, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. There you go.
Unfortunately, from a Brewers perspective, it read 2-1 to the posh against the Brewers on that occasion, but it's 0-0 at the moment between the Brewers and Forest are trying to escape their own half, as they often have been in this game.
At least it doesn't say Notts Forest.
That would annoy him.
Yes.
Mind you, they're sitting underneath it, so they wouldn't
know it.
They wouldn't know.
The one's in the stand at the side.
That would be quite a cruel trick. They could maybe play on them at half time, but the fact we're having a laugh and a joke maybe tells you that the football is going nowhere from Forest, and they've given it away, and Boyce is going to be able to mount an attack for Burton Albion. He's thinking about a shot, slides it into Hesketh on the right of the box instead. Hesketh encouraged to shoot, he doesn't. It comes back to Boyce again, he will shoot, it spills out for a Steele. Will this be the first goal? No! Templeton's effort is blocked, and it comes away to the right hand side now for a throw-in, and Templeton has his hands on his head because he could have given the Brewers the first goal of the game there.
Great play, wasn't it, from Boyce? Got a powerful shot, keeper couldn't hold it, it came back out, and both Allen and Templeton in there, but he stood up quickly, Steele, and blocked Templeton's shot, which was a little bit too close to his body.
Fox trying to create another attack, slides it into the box, and Heffler has to clear it out. It's going to be a corner to the Brewers on the right hand side. Good pressure.
Much better from Burton. They've got the fans going now, isn't it? That's what you need. They don't look too happy when Burton get that ball into feet, and we saw that there. They were able to work the ball on the box, make that space for Boyce to get that shot in.
Well, 2 shots in the 29th minute, as close as either side has come in this game. Boyce's effort blocked as this corner kick comes in from Hesketh, looking for McFadzean, who has 3 goals this season but doesn't reach him, and Forest are going to try and break away, and McFadzean gives a blatant shove in the back of the Forest man and concedes a free kick. But best moment of the game in the 29th minute there, Steele coming out of his chest after Boyce's powerful effort from the edge of the area, and Templeton, I think, felt he really should have scored, but the keeper did well to get down and smother the shot at the second attempt, making amends for not being able to hold the first one. But Burton looking the better of the two sides after half an hour of this game, Tony Bentley.
I say it's taken a little while to, just to see what Forest are all about, but as we said before the game, I think if Burton keep the ball on the ground and try and work it around the Forest defence, then that's going to be where they'll get fruition.
Fourth foul of the game given away by Burton here. Free kick taken short, and Watson will slide it across. Now Dawson uses Osborne, but it was telegraphed and Hesketh stolen it. The Southampton loanee is running towards the right corner flag, up towards the edge of the box, in fact. So where's it back? Looking for Allen. Penalty, surely. Referee's whistle goes. He points to the spot, and Burton Albion have a penalty and a great opportunity to take the lead. It was Allen. We say he does so much selfless work. Well, he got across his man here. It was a sliding challenge, and Allen went flying to the floor. And in the 32nd minute of this game, Burton are going to have a great opportunity to take the lead, Tony Bentley.
All came from Hesketh intercepting that ball, burst down, played it behind the onrushing Boyce into Allen, who's just inside the box there, and Bridcut comes sliding in, took his legs away, clear-cut penalty.
Well, Liam Bridcut giving away a foul on Jamie Allen. We mention he's a scrapper all the time, and he got across there, and he's given the Northern Irishman, Liam Boyce, 7 goals this season, 2 of them in cup competitions. Can he convert this one from the spot for Burton Albion in front of the Forest fans at the East Stand? The whistle goes, Boyce is on his way, over the crossbar, 0-0 it stays. Burton Albion 0, Forest 0 in the 32nd minute. Liam Boyce has put the penalty over the crossbar, and dear me, that was a golden opportunity to take the lead for Burton.
That's an awful penalty. You've got to get it on target, haven't you? And I know he's gone to put it in the top corner to keep it away from the keeper, but that wasn't even close to going on target.
5th shot of the game for Burton Albion, and it's been blazed over the crossbar. It almost hit that scoreboard we were talking about earlier in the game. It still reads 0-0. The perfect opportunity for Liam Boyce to score for the 8th time this season. We were saying he usually couples goals with assists. He got an assist at the weekend for Jamie Allen's goal, but he will be so anxious to make amends, because he's had one of the better chances of the game, cutting in and shooting to Steele's left. Good palm he got on the ball. He also rocketed it off the chest of the Forest goalkeeper, and Templeton really should have given Burton the lead. But now Boyce has had the most golden of golden opportunities in this game to put the yellow shirts of Burton Albion ahead, and he skied it over the crossbar from 12 yards, and Forest will feel they've had a let-off, and Diaz is trying to get in behind Fox, who does superbly well to slide in front of his man. It was almost like Campbell blocking that goal, or the potential goal from the other penalty that was missed in this competition from that end, in happier circumstances for the Brewers against Aston Villa, the way he slid across and made a bar with both legs and just sent it back to his goalkeeper Evtimov. It's been given away on the edge of the Burton box, comes to Gonsalves, he shoots down to Evtimov's left and he makes a very good save. Best shot of the game from Forest so far, but it doesn't break the deadlock. 0-0 still the score.
No, it's just almost like a back pass, he's just trying to curl it into the corner. Easy save for the keeper there, but no, Burton, Gill takes a chance there. You've got to take those against bigger teams.
I suppose I was giving them credit for hitting the target for the first time, but Burton Albion will be feeling that they have missed a chance that they won't see a better one in this game. From the penalty spot over the crossbar from Liam Boyce, he must really be feeling it right now. It's important that
hopefully he'll strive him on.
It's important his shoulders don't go, isn't it? And he keeps doing what he does. Ball thrown inside to Gonsalves and then back out to Osborne. Gonsalves has it again, trying to go between Allen and Fox, and can't do so. They narrow the gap. Clear up to halfway. Dawson's there, and Bridcut gave away the penalty. Finds the Spondon-born Osborne. He goes back to Heffler, who boots the ball in his own face, which was rather amusing for us all. Although I think there's a little bit too much shock from the missed penalty still for any humour just yet. I hope you're enjoying it at home, Brewers fans, but you'd be enjoying it even more on Radio Derby if we'd been able to bring you that first goal of the game for your team. Boyce chasing down the goalkeeper and forces some hurried passes by Forest, but they do get it over halfway with Gonsalves out to Ianco, who's not had many touches at all as the Forest right back, but he goes round his man Templeton and he's going to cross the ball in from the right, but he hits Akins, who blocks the first attempt, has another attempt, and Akins blocks it again. They'll have to chase out will the yellow shirts up towards Watson wearing the red of Forest. Out it goes to the right again, and Janko has blazed this one almost over the stadium. What a poor cross that was, and maybe that's why they haven't given him much of a touch this evening.
See, it's not the first time Karanka's been here in a League Cup tie. He was here with Middlesbrough a few years ago. They won 2-1 on that night.
Very good record against lower league opposition. I think he's still unbeaten. And he is standing on the edge of the technical area with a smart pair of shoes on, but suit trousers, but a Rain Mac style jacket on as it's flicked on by Fraser. The hands thrust firmly into the pockets of Artur Karanka. Forward it goes, looking for McFadzean, who heads it down and out of play. We got any goals yet, Chris Coles?
No.
That'll be why you didn't respond. Soudani knocks it back, and then Bridcut over he goes to Janko.
I was warming my hands up in my pocket. You caught me by surprise.
I'm sorry, I did a Craig Ramage
you
there.
Did.
I apologise.
No, it is still Sutton 0, Chesterfield 0 in the National League. FC United 1, Alfreton 0 in National League North, and goalless in the other EFL Cup tie. Bournemouth 0, Norwich 0.
Diaz siding out to Osborne, but it's out of play. It does feel a cold night this evening, but maybe not as cold as the weekend when we had the wind whipping in and across us, and certainly Dave Fletcher, who's more inclined to the cricket season, was ruining his first trip to a football ground of the season. As Burton have a throw in their right back area, 0-0 if you just join us after 37 minutes, maybe one or two Rams checking in before their trip to Stamford Bridge to play Chelsea, to keep an eye on the old enemy and see how Burton Albion can do. Well, they've missed a penalty this evening, and they should really be 1-0 ahead in this match against Artur Karanka, who we say has never lost a domestic cup match against a side in League One or below, winning all 8 of his ties so far. Out the ball goes to Bridcut. Will be a very relieved man, having tripped up Jamie Allen on the edge of the box. The other reason the Brewers should be ahead in this game is Liam Boyce having a shot from a tight angle after 19 minutes, well saved by the left hand of Luke Steele, and also Templeton following up a powerfully struck Boyce shot that came back off the chest of Steele to him in the 6-yard boxes. It's threaded through to Fraser, and he's going to find no, it's Boyce who has the shot with his left foot, but it's down to the left hand side, and he just can't seem to find the back of the net this evening, the Northern Irishman, but he'll keep trying.
It was a little bit almost too behind him. He had to stop, check his run rather than being able to run onto it and hit it. He was with his weaker left foot, but there was no sort of, he wasn't able to take it in his stride. He had to check his stride running onto it, unfortunately. Although he put it towards the corner of the net, Steele was able to drop quite easily and save it.
It's not been Liam Boyce's night, striking that one with the inside of his left foot, but tamely to Luke Steele's left, and in the 38th minute he makes a comfortable save. But it's as comfortable as Evtimov has been at the other end. He's just had to drop to his left once to save one shot on target from Gonsalves from the edge of the box. And that's all Forest have to show from the first 38 minutes of this game. Burton trying to progress down the left, can't do so. McFadzean will cut out the ball forward, and Boyce will continue chasing it. He has it on the left hand side of the penalty area, just outside it in fact. Comes back to Templeton, edge of the box. He's going to shoot right footed, but it's blocked and away. And Burton will try and rebuild the attack, and they win a free kick as they do so.
Good play again there, wasn't he? Just trying to turn his man there. Templeton got taken out.
As this half goes on, Burton Albion seem more and more the better side, Tony Bentley.
Yeah, they say they should be ahead, and that's you know, you just hope that doesn't come back to haunt them later on.
Well, the free kick being placed, good 30 yards out, inside left channel. Quinn will look to put it on the penalty spot potentially for McFadzean, as they did at Plymouth. That worked rather well. Will they try it once more against Championship Nottingham Forest? 0-0 the score as it comes into the box from Quinn, looking for McFadzean, but Hefele was there. Comes back to Hesketh, he puts it in. Boyce now in the air, but it's back to the goalkeeper Steele. Plenty of the Forest man getting across there, and it's rolled out to Janko now, who will bring it away. 0-0 it remains. 40 minutes of this game played on BBC Radio Derby. You just join us, Burton Albion should be ahead. Boyce missing from the penalty spot, having 2 other good chances saved, and a shot that rebounded back to Templeton and should have been put in from inside the 6-yard box, but Burton will be very encouraged with what they've seen. I know Forest won't be this tame in the second half, as Osborne brings it down and he's going to be shoved by Hesketh, and then Allen comes across and makes a tackle, and then it's cleared out of play by Dawson, and Burton will try and keep the attack going. Goal in these next 5 minutes would be very, very valuable for the Brewers. I feel their first half display deserves it, perhaps needs it. Players wearing black armbands on the sleeves of their yellow and red shirts in memory of the Leicester City owner and those who died with him in a helicopter crash. Akins plays it forward. Heffeler cuts it out there. It's forward to Gonsalves, the only man to hit the target for Forest so far in the game, and Burton win it back, and they're on the attack with Fox and Hesketh looking to link up. Fox went on the overlap. Hesketh nearly gave it away there. Comes to Fox now. Plays it in looking for Hesketh, and all of a sudden Watson bring it away for the red shirts, and this is where Burton have to be careful. The only times they've been under pressure have been their own doing. Goes out to Janko on the far side, but Akins has got him marshalled, and again it's another absolutely appalling cross. That's a professional footballer who's done that twice. He's skied it out of play.
You know, we say other times that people, the Championship players react quicker and think quicker, and you know, maybe some of the interceptions are because the Forest players are Championship players and they play at that level for a reason. But you know, Janko doesn't cross at Championship level.
Looked like he kicked a football in about 3 months by the effort he put in there. I certainly found it amusing on the row behind us in the south stand, I can assure you of that. Brigcutt takes it on his chest and knocks it over the top looking for Soudani. The Algerian brings it down now. He's got 2 goals already in the league this season. Feeds it back to Brigcutt. Now finds Janko, who plays a better pass into Brigcutt, who's tackled well by Fraser. And it's chipped over the top looking for Soudani. He shoves McFadzean to the floor and then he knocks it out, but it comes off a Burton player and it'll be a corner kick.
Yeah, just the time you've got to be careful, haven't you? A couple of minutes before the interval, really, by the time the kick's taken.
Yeah, it'll be a very bad time for Burton Albion to concede, especially given they should have been ahead in this game. You're listening to BBC Radio Derby, the top floor on FM, DAB and Freeview 735. We're on 11:16 AM as the ball, it's an in-swinger from the right-hand side, but it's a yellow shirted head to it, and then the shot comes in from Diaz, and now it's blocked by Hesketh running away. Comes to Janko. Watson on the left-hand side, cuts in. Sends it back to Janko now in his own half, and Forest will have to start again. Good defending from Burton. Boyce makes a tackle, and then Templeton comes in, and because the challenge was from behind, well, it doesn't exist in modern football anymore, and it's such a shame because that was a perfectly good tackle.
Well, he played the ball, didn't he? That was the trouble.
Yeah, he had a very adept tackle there, did the Northern Irishman Liam Boyce, but he remains on 7 goals despite having a penalty kick that went over the crossbar. 3 other good efforts on goal in this first half for Burton Albion. He was thrust out on the left and did that work willingly on Saturday against Peterborough United, but he's been causing problems through the middle this evening without the reward of a goal. Allen chases his man back. Boyce looking to do some tracking back now to Brigcutt. Out it goes to Cash on the right hand side. The 21-year-old crosses, but straight into Akins again, who has had a very impressive half as always, Tony Bentley.
He's put some good blocks in there, hasn't he? It's not the first time he's got his body in the way, stop the cross coming in.
The only time we've seen him struggle was that game against Wycombe, where it just felt one too many out of position, but he's come roaring back and he's been in excellent form. As we say, he's managed 2 goals and 3 assists despite being right at the back of the Burton Albion team for much of the season. It's trickled back through to Evtimov, who will clear it in the final minute of the half, up towards Boyce, who just couldn't bring that under control. And it's one of those nights for the Northern Irish striker where things just aren't going his way, it seems. Chris Coles will have any goals that do materialise in the few fixtures we have tonight at half-time. He'll bring you up to date with all the scores. We'll also have Sutton versus Chesterfield, which is taking place, and FC United versus Alfreton in the non-league football. Josh there up in Manchester following Alfreton. There'll be 1 minute of added time and we're already into it as Forest try to escape their own half with Heffler. It's a long ball looking for Cash, who is the only player to remain from Saturday and's been their main bright spark. As the ball goes forward to Boyce, who exchanges a 1-2 with Quinn and then wins it back as it comes forward and battles for the ball again. Good play from Liam Boyce that. Fraser now out to Templeton. Allen jogging through the middle. Fraser's made a run too, and he takes it in the inside left channel. Through the legs he went of the defender Yanko. Maybe a bit ambitious because Yanko clears away to Quinn, but can Burton mount one more attack? 20 seconds of the half remaining. Akins going on the attack for the first time in the half, but he's blocked out. But Quinn retains possession, and now Templeton. Back to Quinn he goes. And now Brayford on halfway. Burton need to be quick if they're going to create anything. We're into the last 10 seconds of normal time. Allen lays it off. Brayford slides it forward to Hesketh, and that is all we have time for in the first 45 minutes of this game. 0-0 the score between Burton Albion and Nottingham Forest, but it should really have been 1-0 to Burton Albion. The golden opportunity came after Jamie Allen
side. A little bit more experience, that was all, you know.
Yeah. Well, and if you can include Lucas Akins further up the field, then that's what you want. Well, Nottingham Forest and Burton Albion coming out of the tunnel. It's very rare these days you see both teams emerge at the same time. It's usually one followed by the other. Burton Albion getting some energy back into the tyres by racing through some cones just in front of us, and Nottingham Forest are in discussions, one or two of them having a few words. You can see Lewis Grabban, one of the subs, in animating discussion with Liam Bridcut, and the referee is striding out with the match ball. So we have the second half of Burton Albion against Nottingham Forest to come on BBC Radio Derby. 81333 is our text number. Put Derby at the start of it. You can tweet us at BBC Derby Sport with your post-match thoughts. And remember, if we are level at 90 minutes, we go, excitingly, to a penalty shootout to decide who makes it through to the quarter-finals. Let's rejoin Tony Bentley and Mike Perkins.
Well, good evening everyone. The Brewers will feel that they should have been ahead in the first half. What can they produce in the second half? They line up with Evtimov in goal, a 4-3-3 in front of him. It is Akins at left back, McFadzean and Brayford are the centre halves. Allen's bringing it forward already, straight into towards the Forest penalty area. Gets it back on the edge of the area from a deflection and then is forced away. And then Quinn goes to Fox, who's the right back, and then Forest intercept and look to break with Diaz, who puts it out of play. So Evtimov in goal, Akins, McFadzean, Brayford and Fox from left to right across the back. Quinn with Fraser to his left and Allen to his right. Templeton wide on the left of the attack, Hesketh wide on the right. It's Boyce up front. Forest, Steele in goal. It's Osborne at left back. Dawson and Heffler are the centre halves. Yanko at right back. They've got two sitting in front, Bridcut and Watson. Three more attackers in front of them. Diaz, Gonsalves in behind the striker, and Cash on the right. And up front it's Soudani, who had a frustrating first 45 minutes, unable to add to his 2 goals so far this season. Tony Bentley, what is the key in this half for you?
Burton just keeping it tight and getting that first goal.
Akins on the half volley sends it spinning towards Boyce, who's headed it back inside, looking for Fraser, who'll chase down Dawson, and Dawson goes back to his goalkeeper Steele, who was called upon on at least 4 occasions, but wasn't called upon perhaps when he was most expecting to be, when Burton had that penalty kick. But that's all in the first 45 minutes. It's 0-0 after a minute and a half of the second 45, and that's what will decide this cup tie. And if it doesn't, we'll go to penalties. Free kick to Burton on the right hand side.
I think Dawson's going in the book here for that challenge on Boyce.
It's looking that way, isn't it? Referee scribbling his name down, and he raises the yellow card to the sky. Burton, of course, in yellow shirts, black shorts and yellow socks. Nottingham Forest, red shirts, white shorts and red socks. And as we say, I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 Rams fans as well as the Brewers fans checking in on the old enemy. And Burton have certainly given them a good game so far, and it could be so much more from this free kick. It'll be taken 2.5 minutes into the second half. Fed down the side of the box to Liam Boyce, and he's going to try and shoot, but he just couldn't keep it down. Hits the roof of the West Stand in the end.
Just caught Forest unaware. They're expecting the long ball into the box there, and he just played it Down towards the near post. Boyce's first touch, a little bit heavy, took it narrower than he wanted. The angle was against him, and obviously went for power and fired over.
Sort of similar to one of those ones when he does the striking practice, but as you say, he just got it wider of the goal than even he would have liked. Soudani trying to get there, but Evtimov's quickly off his line, and he did that once in the first half, and he's done it well in the second half. Saw the press association crediting Nottingham Forest with 6 shots in the first half. I certainly didn't see that many myself. Yeah,
one on target and 3 off. But
yeah, as Evtimov hits it long, Boyce will take it on the foot, but Effler's very tall and is able to get over the top of him and head it, but still played into the Forest right back area, but Fraser won't get there. I suppose they've got to be careful with Templeton and Fraser, haven't they, because they're only on their way back to fitness. A big call, I suppose, to put them in from the start tonight.
No, I think if you're fit enough, you start. You know, there was no reaction to the game on Saturday.
Thrown down the line and headed back by Cash, and then on by Soudani, but only to Brayford, who's having a comfortable game at centre half so far. Hesketh and Fox exchange passes, but it goes into the full-back area of Forest and out for a throw-in. Left-hand side, as the red shirts will try and escape their own half. It's thrown down into the turf, and then Dawson on a yellow card hooks it clear, and now there's a chance for Diaz to run in at the Burton Albion defence, and he's through all the way onto goal, and can he shoot past Evtimov? Good save from Evtimov, stands tall, Soudani heads it, but straight onto the palms of Evtimov again, who dives on the ball and clutches it against his former club, and 2 good saves there from Dimitar Evtimov.
Yeah, he stood his ground well, didn't he? Stood up on his feet there, made the first block, it bounced back up, and he stood and got the header as well.
0-0 the score in the 50th minute, and now Burton are breaking in. It's Allen playing it out to the left-hand side. Templeton's got space. Can he run at the full-back? He runs across him and then slides it to Quinn, who wasn't expecting the ball, and that allows Diaz to get to it and send Forest back away. An open start to the second half. We've only played 5 minutes of it, and Yanko's already coming down the right-hand side. He might have been told to keep things simple after his 2 efforts at crossing it in the first half. Forest go all the way back to Dawson and then try and build down the left with Osborne making a run forward into the Burton half, but not receiving it. Soudani touching it on, looking for Gonsalves, who's come forward. And Quinn regathers for Burton Albion. Finds Quinn. Slides it forward. Turns a good one from Hesketh, but the pass just didn't quite reach Allen, who's sniffing around, and now Hesketh's won it back. Right corner of the penalty area, tackled by Brigcutt. That didn't end well in the first half when Brigcutt went in on Allen, but this is a better challenge and he comes away with it. Referee not interested in Burton appeals. Another good tackle in the midfield by Fraser. Burton keeping the press high, keeping the pressure on Forest, who will be dreading what could potentially happen if they don't lift their level of performance, but Diaz certainly has lifted his, but he's tackled as he approaches the Burton penalty area, and now Allen puts in another good challenge and wins it in midfield, and he's breaking over halfway. He's got Boyce peeling off one side, Fraser and Templeton coming up in support on the left. Templeton's in space, Fraser shoots it, takes a deflection and loops into the goal, and Burton Albion have the lead that they couldn't get in the first half. They tried so hard to get it, but Burton Albion has scored through a deflected Scott Fraser effort that has evaded Luke Steele, and finally in the 52nd minute of this game, Burton Albion have a 1-0 lead.
Great credit to Jamie Allen there. He's won the ball just in front of his own box and drove, and he got options right, option left, played it to Fraser. Templeton made the decoy run wider on the left, made a little bit of space. Fraser's hit the shot, it's caught the defender on the back, looped over Steele. I don't care about that, but Burton lead him.
Second goal since arriving at the club for Scott Fraser, scored against Accrington Stanley. Chris Coles will remember that day he saw that one. He's had laid on 2 goals in cup competitions this season. Well, he now has his second goal for the Brewers, and it was one that was roundly celebrated, certainly in the South Stand. We couldn't see much further past that because everyone rose to their feet in delight. But Burton Albion, they're ahead against Nottingham Forest, and they deserve to be. They really deserve to be. And whether you're a Brewer or a Ram tonight listening on BBC Radio Derby, you'll be enjoying Nottingham Forest getting beat. It's out of play for a throw-in on the right-hand side. Soudani's back
called out,
on his back.
Poleaxed.
Oh, he is holding his head. I wondered why he was down for so long. But
I'm not sure McFadzean hooked the ball, and I thought the referee gave the throw in to Forest because it hit him on the back of there, but I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, the treatment is ongoing. The referee wants to continue the game of football, which he is, and Janko has, well, probably not helped proceedings by miscontrolling and allowing the ball to go straight into the physio on the sideline.
The trouble is, though, they're treating him. If the ball goes in that area, the people treating him are in danger of being hit.
Yeah, they are very close to where Lucas Akins will now take this throw-in. All you care about at home, Burton Albion fans, is your team are 1-0 ahead and heading into the quarter-finals of the League Cup. The last 8 of the League Cup, Tony Bentley.
Like Lewis Grabban's coming on now, I think.
Well,
he's their danger man.
He's a very formidable presence up front. And he was quelled here against Sunderland, but his team did win last season when he visited East Staffordshire. But he had to rely on others for the goal that night. Sliced Evtimov clearance, goes out of play. Credit to Dimitar Evtimov, he made a great double save just 2 minutes before the goal.
Yeah, the first one was the save. The follow-up was just in his hands, but he stood his ground, didn't he? Made himself as big as possible, which is what keepers are told to do.
Dawson, who's on a yellow card, and will be played on by the Burton attackers in his second half.
Hesketh I think just felt some of the back of his knee there. He just sort of stretched, and his leg just gave way.
Here comes Nick Fenton on, and Nigel Clough's already calling over substitutes, which shows he is concerned about this. The drip falls from the top of the south stand as we watch Nick Fenton go over to the far side. I don't ask Chris Coles whether there have been any early goals in the second half just yet, because after our first half efforts there weren't too many. The Forest players come for a drink, and Liam Brigcut's among those who's taking one, and there is going to be a substitute for Nottingham Forest, I think, here, unless John Brayford's coming off, which I don't think he is. So it's going to be Lewis Grabban coming on for Soudani, as we were expecting. Any goals, Chris?
It is as you were. Sutton still lead Chesterfield by 1-0 in the National League. In the National League North, FC United 1, Alfreton 0, and in the EFL Cup, both games are 1-0 here, of course, and on the South Coast, Bournemouth 1, Norwich 0.
Well, you'll be able to send your thoughts to Chris Coles via 81333, starting your message with the word Derby. You'll also be able to get in touch with him at BBC Derby Sport. Sport scene special this evening on 11:16 a.m. Burton Albion versus Nottingham Forest. And Burton Albion are leading by 1-0.
Marvin Sordell's been given the nod, I think. Get stripped off just in case.
Yeah, back amongst the substitutes after that hip injury, which was a bit of a mystery when first.
At least he's back on his feet. Hesketh's looking to try and run it off, which is a good sign, but they've got to be ready if they need him.
I think Burton will want to keep their substitutes in their pocket as long as they can here with the lead. This ball's going to come into the box. No, it goes short to Brigcut, who's going to shoot, and it took a little bit of a deflection on the way through to Evtimov, but it was kind to him and took it into the body of the green-kitted goalkeeper.
Yeah, wasn't a lot of pace on it though, was there? So it was easy to say straight into his midriff.
Well, Forest have managed to hit the target 3 times already in the second half, which is an improvement on their 1 from the first half. Burton Albion have hit the target once via a deflection, and it's ended up in the back of the goal after 52 minutes. Scott Fraser, who has made amends for Liam Boyce missing a penalty after 32 minutes. Now Forest try to build an attack on the left-hand side of the Burton penalty area. Gonsalves has it. He's going to chip it up, looking for the run from the back post, but no, it materialised. It never really got a great deal of power on it, and it was easily dealt with by Evtimov again as Cash came in.
Yeah, just got to be careful. You say quick ball forward there, bit of pace behind it. Fox at right back there, costing.
It'll be a real test for McFadzean and Brayford up against the prolific Grabban, who was one of the Division Championship's top scorers coming up to Christmas last season, and went to Aston Villa for a bit. Now finds himself in the red of Nottingham Forest. Left-hand side, Forest have the ball on the attack. Gonsalves trying to get it past Brayford into the box, and Evtimov just has to touch it over the crossbar in the end. I don't think he realised quite how close the crossbar was, and he was going to try and catch it, and then ended up just palming it over for Forest's first corner of the second half. It'll be from the left.
He didn't want to catch his wrists on it and then just drop the ball, did he, at the feet of anybody?
1-0 the score to Burton Albion, but they've got a corner to defend. Diaz and Dawson at the back post. Cash comes to the front post. He's got a bit of space, but he's got plenty of yellow shirts to get it past. Returns it to the corner kick taker, and it comes once again. It's headed towards the far post. The top of the net rippled, but the ball was landing outside the frame of the goal, crucially.
He's just dinked in around the penalty spot, wasn't it? Dawson with a flick header there, landed on the roof of the net. Got the Forest fans excited and mic'd them all right.
Did get me a little bit excited, a little bit worried for everybody at home listening to BBC Radio Derby.
You shouldn't get excited because that's a Forest attack, not a Burton attack. You can get excited when Burton attack.
Well, I was worried, as I say, for everyone sitting at home that they might spill their cup of tea, and with a Forest close chance there, but it has gone outside the frame of the goal, crucially, and Evtimov's remains with a clean sheet, and given this little reward against the club he spent 7 years with before being released in the summer, and he's ended up at Burton Albion on a short-term contract which was extended. Grabban is caught offside as his first contribution to this game.
Yeah, straight away it's a quick call, wasn't there, for the offside flag as soon as the ball went in the airlines, when they just waited for it to come down, and Grabban be in the vicinity.
Shaven head, but a wispy beard that Grabban sports. It's obviously not the same colour as Dave Fletcher's beard, but it's a similar sort of number, I think. Quite long and pointed coming from the chin. Dave's is a little whiter in colour. Grabban's still a nice black colour. Akins will chip the ball up into his hands, the Burton Albion captain. He's ready to take this throw down the line to the Northern Irishman Boyce, who will be feeling a little relieved, you would imagine, having missed a penalty in the 32nd minute. Scott Fraser scoring in the 52nd, giving Burton Albion a 1-0 advantage in this game as we approach the hour mark. And as an hour of cup football goes, Tony Bentley, you couldn't have asked for too much more from Burton.
Nothing. Burton would be quite pleased, wouldn't they? They probably deserved the lead in the first half.
Looked like it might have been handball from Boyce there, but it's not given. Back out to Templeton on the left. Puts it in looking for Boyce, and the defender just got up in front of him, Hefele there, and diverted it away. Boyce, you could see him motioning with his neck towards the goal, but the ball just didn't arrive on his forehead. And then a foul is given away in the Forest left-back area.
Yeah, just run the ball out of play.
Oh, it's over. Yep, you're right. Over the line for a throw-in. Got those very bright advertising hoardings that have been put in front of the regular ones so that they can change the sponsor on them tonight for television. Fraser, who is entertained in front of the TV cameras, plays it out to Lucas. He's at left back, which is not his familiar position, and he's not been given a great pass there, and he's in a tussle with Brigcutt, who does eventually foul the big Burton Albion captain. And the ball, in fact, they kick it all the way back for the throw-in.
What's happening?
Well, they're going to go all the way back to just the right of the centre circle. I didn't spot the infringement, I have to say, but there we go. It's clearly earlier in the move.
Somebody must have just left the foot in when the ball came
across
Lucas
the
got it, yeah.
Brayford trying to play a ball forward, but nobody read it, and can't really blame him because it skipped through off the turf straight to Steele, who'll start things again for Nottingham Forest. He's played in every round of this competition so far, having come on as a substitute in the first round, but he's seen his team going out of this competition at the moment. Akins jumped and did enough against Cash, as he's done enough all night, and now Boyce is up against Hefele, gets his head to the ball this time, although not as close to goal as his last attempt. And now it slid through to Fraser into the penalty area, but he is offside, and he's fired it over nonetheless. But
good play from Boyce again there, though. He's got 3 players around him, and he's just managed to get a toe out. Allen's just played the first time pass through, but fortunately Fraser's gone half a yard too early.
Yeah, there's a good little triangle between the 2 attacking midfielders and the striker Boyce. It looks like that is a player I don't recognise, so I assume it's Kieran Wallace who's going for a little jog down the left there, unless it's
Collins.
Or is that... No, it is the floppy hair of Collins, isn't it? It just doesn't look quite right without a fluorescent goalkeeping strip on. as the ball's laid back to Steele. Or blue-kitted goalkeeper sends it long straight onto the forehead of McFadzean, and now Templeton inside to Fraser. Incisive little pass to his fellow Scottish player, and now it comes to the Northern Irishman. Boyce, he's going to come back inside, and it hits. Well, the shot is blocked, and then it was nearly taken under control by Hesketh, who seems to have run off that injury. But Forest will break away with Diaz, but Fox dispossesses him. Now it's forward to Hesketh again. The yellow shirts on the attack once more, looking for their second goal of the game. They lead by the only goal of the game. And now it's through to Fraser, through on goal, and scores again! Scott Fraser's doubled the Brewers' advantage. He's got both the goals in this game. A fantastic finish coming through on the inside left channel after good hold-up play by Liam Boyce. And in the 64th minute, Burton Albion are 2-0 ahead against Nottingham Forest, and boy have they deserved it.
Fantastic play from Boyce. He looked like he was being fouled, but he just kept ploughing, didn't he? Went through 3 players, just poked that ball through, and this time Fraser timed his run to perfection into a bit of space. As Steele came out, he just curled it with his left foot round the keeper into the net, and Burton doubled the lead. Well deserved.
A lovely little clench of the fist from Scott Fraser there. He's been out injured for a few weeks, and he will have been feeling he needs to make a contribution. Missed 2 games through injury, came back against Peterborough United, a 70th minute substitute. He started the game this evening, and he's finished twice since the break. And nice for Liam Boyce as well. He would have wanted the goal, he would have wanted to convert that penalty, but he's fed his man through. And now Burton Albion, they just have to keep playing the way they have been. It's out to the left to Osborne, Spondon-born man, taking it initially towards the corner flag, but has to check back. Burton needing to be careful here now, just to see out the next 5 minutes or so to keep their advantage in the game. Forest have been poor tonight, but they still have 25 minutes in which to get back into this game, and that's the concern for Burton. Watson sweeps it to the left, and there's an excellent tackle goes in on the far side. It's Hesketh getting back. Good tackle from the Southampton loanee.
He looks to have shaken off that. He looked quite worrying when the way he went down, like he's holding behind the back of his knee. But he's recovered quickly, and he was involved in the build-up for that goal as well.
Hefele takes it forward. Burton Albion going into the last 8 of the League Cup. It's fed through, looking for the run of Janko, but he can't get there, and Evtimov will clear. Boyce volleys it inside nicely to Templeton, who evades Bridcut. He's now going to run forward, and there's calls for Templeton to pass it right. He finds Hesketh, beats a couple of challengers, feeds it back into Boyce. Boyce just couldn't get his footing right, and it rolls past him despairingly, and he collapses on his front in the turf. He's just not having his night, but he has set up one of the goals, so he'll take that.
But that all came from Boyce's little foot. He brought it was Evtimov's kick down, just laid the pass inside, and Burton away again. And as I was saying before the game, running at this Forest defence, they don't like it.
Ball played into the box, and Evtimov will come and gather, and he is very much on the right side this evening. Not with the club that he spent 7 years at and only made 3 appearances. He's with Burton Albion this evening, making his 9th appearance for the Brewers in all competitions. Played in the last round of the League Cup, and he's playing here tonight and enjoying a clean sheet as things stand, and seeing his team 2 goals ahead as well. Out it goes to Dawson on a yellow card, remember. Will that be crucial in this game? We await to see. Back inside it comes to Watson. Bridcut. Run being made by Janko to the far side. Comes to Hefele first. Now Janko trying to get in behind Templeton, and McFadzean comes across, read it really, really well, and got across and tackled the fullback, and he'll clear left-footed, but only to Watson, and that's dangerous, and this could give Forest a lifeline. Diaz puts it to Watson. Now it's Osborne, puts it across goal, but a good tackle goes in, and in fact good pressure, sliced up.
Yeah, it's good pressure.
Of Osborne.
Hesketh's got back there, put pressure on him, and he's put it wide.
Out for a goal kick. We're approaching the halfway point of the second half. Burton Albion lead by 2-0 against Nottingham Forest. They're heading to the last 8 of the League Cup. Scott Fraser with a double. The first one was deflected. The second one certainly wasn't. Ran through that inside left channel. Finished superbly with the inside of his left boot.
In fact, Joe Lolly's being introduced as well for Forest in a minute.
Is his second and third strikes in a Brewers shirt, and they've both come in the 4th round of the League Cup. The first time the Brewers have been at this stage. You'll hear if Derby County will be able to get themselves in the hat tomorrow against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge on Sports Scene, but David Templeton has won a free kick here in East Staffordshire for Burton Albion.
Here comes Lolly.
Well, he was another who played at the weekend, as did Grabban and Cash, who were also on. So Forest reverting back to their favoured strike force, and it's going to be one of the defenders who comes off for Yanko.
Cash going to right back.
Yeah, so Cash has been pushed back, and Lolly will play in front of him on the right-hand side.
Sounds like one of these loan companies, Cash or Lolly, doesn't it?
Yes, quite. Well, Joe Lolly is on the pitch, and what difference will he make? We will see in the remaining 22 minutes of this game. Out for a throw-in to Forest in their left-back area.
I think it looks like Templeton's just limping a little bit. I think he's got a whack there, so maybe Marvin's coming on for him.
Could well be. See Joe Sbarra disappear into the dugout as well. It's out of play in front of the advertising hoardings, which are red at the minute. And convert to yellow at some point as well. We're getting a full array of colours as Sordell is preparing to replace David Templeton. Good to see Marvin Sordell back, and a really good performance again from David Templeton. He's been a star performer for Burton Albion this season.
I say he's an X-factor player, isn't he? You know, it's what they need. Somebody like him, he can just go inside, go outside. Very good control. He's got a little whack on the ankle. He's just showing Nigel Clough there. Put a bit of ice on it. Put your feet up and come back again on Saturday, please.
Yeah, and they will enjoy having him available as the ball goes.
Yeah, he's got a bag of ice in his hand already, straight down the tunnel. Quite right.
And his side are 2-0 ahead. He may well have already got job done as it comes to Sordell on the left-hand side. What can he do with fresh legs? Back from that hip injury. Slides it in, looking for Jamie Allen, but it was blocked, and it comes across, and now it'll be Diaz to run at the Burton Albion defenders, and he's going to slide it through, looking for Grabban. Evtimov comes out, Grabban will finish, Grabban will score. It's 2-1, the advantage has been halved, and it was a simple goal. Through ball to Lewis Grabban, right hand side of the box. Evtimov came advancing out. He won't get his 3rd clean sheet. He was chipped, and Nottingham Forest have their first goal. Burton Albion 2, Nottingham Forest 1.
All came from Burton giving the ball away yet again, and 2 passes later, and Grabban's in behind. Just dinked it over Evtimov. Game on.
And the advantage has been halved, and you feel Burton Albion have made their task twice as difficult here. Comes to Sordell. Can he do better this time, running down the left? Slides it on to Fraser. Fraser with Heffeler up against him and dispossessed by Lolly, who is returning. McFadzean gets to the ball and intercepts well. Akins slides it forward. Fraser with room to turn inside left channel, running away from Gonsalves. Plays it in, looking for Boyce, can't find him. Back to halfway to Brayford. Quinn feeds it out to Fox. Burton Albion lead by 2-1. Lewis Grabban halving the lead. Hesketh misses his kick, but he's still got the ball, but he's been penalised on that far side. The locals don't agree with that one.
First foul Burton conceded this half.
Yeah, and they are looking to defend a 2-1 lead. The Forest fans come into voice. This is going to be nervy. Place in the last 8 of the League Cup at stake here, remember. Burton Albion will be among the first teams into it. Brought down by Hesketh. Feeds in Boyce. He's got a chance to turn towards goal. Finds Fraser instead. Fraser evades the challenge. Shoots, looks for his hat-trick, and it's spilt by Steele just wide of the left-hand post. He seemed to want to gather it up into his belly and nearly made a right mess of it. It's out for a Burton Albion corner on the right.
Good play again from Boyce. Going to be expecting him to shoot. Just played it into Fraser, and he got it a little bit stuck under his boots there, didn't he? Went for the bottom corner, and the keeper's made a meal of that, putting it round.
I think he was thinking about feeding it one more to his left as well to Sordell, who was there, but couldn't get it out his feet initially, and then struck it goalward, and it was misfielded out round the left post. Burton Albion still lead by 2-1. 73rd minute. The yellow shirts still putting pressure on. Goes towards the near post. McFadzean can't quite get there. Comes back to Fraser on the edge of the box. Miscontrols. Comes to Boyce, and he'll set up for a corner this time from the left-hand side. Burton still putting the pressure on here.
That's what Boyce does so well. He assesses the situation so quickly. Do I look to try and take the player, or no? He's going to crowd me out. I'll just play it off and we'll get the corner and we'll start again.
17 minutes of the game remaining. Marvin Sordell replacing the ball for a left wing corner. Boyce, Akins and McFadzean form a little triangle which breaks now as they run towards the 6-yard area. It comes across but headed away. Quinn tries to keep the attack going. Fraser on the edge of the box is picked up this time. McFadzean stabs it out to Sordell. He's going to whip it in from the left, low to Boyce, but Boyce just couldn't get it goalwards because of the tackle that came in from him. Another corner from the left hand side. Another goal here, Tony Bentley, and Burton Albion would be in, well, certainly in League Cup dreamland, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it should be 3-1 though, shouldn't it, when you think back? But not to worry, let's play on as we are now.
And Boyce missing a 32nd minute penalty, but Scott Fraser in the 52nd minute and the 64th minute giving Burton their lead, and it comes into the near post this time towards Akins, but defended out. Now Sordell and Fraser exchange passes. What can Fraser do? He looks brimming with confidence, puts it right across goal, and Boyce was the man at the far post sliding in, just couldn't get the decisive touch. It's just not that man's night, but you get the feeling it may still well be his night. He may well score before the evening's out.
Great play from Fraser there, wasn't it? Pinged that across the box. Keeper was flapping fresh air. Unfortunately, just beyond the lunge of Boyce.
Players wearing black armbands tonight, distinctive on the sleeves of the yellow shirts of Burton Albion in memory of those who died in the helicopter crash at Leicester City at the weekend. And there's been a terrific game of football tonight here in East Staffordshire. 75th minute we're now into. Halfway through it, in fact, before this throw is taken. Down the line it goes. Burton with that makeshift back four that will need to hold out for the remaining quarter of an hour. Brayford heads it forward. 2-1 the scoreline if you just joined us on 11:16 AM BBC Radio Derby.
The dog was running off with the ball then.
Yes, the little insurance sponsor dog that does have his own little ball in the animated advertising hoardings, which we have because of course the Brewers entertaining everyone on television and not just on radio too, but you know the place to come for the best coverage. It's BBC Radio Derby, and we're continuing to give it to you this evening as Burton give away another lax little free kick, and Forest are forced to pull back. To Karanka, we were mentioning in the first half, never been beaten by opposition from League One or lower in a cup competition. Well, he's going to have to face up to that now. Nigel Clough has won his last 8, including 5 with Burton against sides from outside the Premier League in the League Cup. Has slid into the centre circle. It's going to be Lolly. Finds another red shirt and back to goal. Grabban has halved the Burton advantage. 2-1 Burton lead, and Matty Cash, who's getting forward still on the right, takes that ball out of play.
I think Burton preferred the goal kick. I thought it gone out for the throw, but the linesman wasn't actually looking down the line. Marvin's just pointing out to him that it had gone out. But I think he'd prefer the keeper to have a kick than the throw in down that corner.
Yep, Dimitar Evtimov against the club he once was employed by. We'll be able to send this long back towards the red shirts of Forest. The yellow shirts will be able to try and mount another attack, or at least gain territory, which feels just as crucial at this stage. Forward to Boyce. Got arms all over him from Hefele. He seems to be panicking more and more as he realises quite how good the Northern Irishman is, but he couldn't get it past Luke Steele, and when he did, he put it over the bar from the penalty spot. This man Fraser, though, has got 2 goals for Burton, and he's feeding in Sordell now, who's chipping it over left sideline of the penalty area. Finds Fraser once more. He's going to try and pull it back. Is anyone there? Allen's trying to jump there. He barges into Luke Steele, who's much the taller player, and Steele made the catch comfortably, and he rolled it out short. Burton still trying to keep the press on, which is quite something with 13 minutes of this game remaining. Akins tries to stand his man up. Quinn's been gone round, but McFadzean will get there, and it's to Sordell. He just puts his foot on the ball for a second. It's end-to-end stuff all of a sudden, but Burton just trying to keep the foot on the ball, and that's a terrible tackle by Liam Bridcut. We saw a terrible one to give away the penalty, and he's just hacked Fraser down in his own half.
I think Fraser knew it was coming there, and it's a bit of a slow motion. He just turned the man too easily, didn't he? But it's just breaking play up. I don't think Burton will mind that.
You wouldn't put a hat-trick this evening for Scott Fraser past him. He's had one deflected into the top left corner, and he's beaten Steele on his right side with his left boot. Superb finish when slotted through by Liam Boyce. McFadzean chips it on, looking for Sordell. Cash comes and wins a header off him, and Lolly goes round Akins, who's now out of position. Quinn slows him down. It's drilled out, looking for Diaz's run on the left-hand side, and it's skip out off the toe.
It's quick, but he's not that quick.
Yeah, I don't even think a certain Usain Bolt of the Coastal Mariners would have caught that one on the far side. And if he had, he'd have had that first touch like a trampoline, as we've been hearing. It had gone out of play anyway, but there we go. Ben Robinson did once say he was interested in Usain Bolt ahead of the game against Middlesbrough. Maybe he'll have second thoughts having seen him play. He's having a good evening up in the director's box, I'm sure. Saw him on the way in the stadium tonight, looking ready to host an evening there. And his team have put on a good performance. Grabban caught offside as the ball goes over the top here.
Chris is just enjoying the game. He's
I was
got
going to
nothing
say,
to do tonight. No goals or any. He's just sitting watching.
It's been great. I didn't want to interrupt. There have been goals actually. Bournemouth have another one. It's 2-1. Norwich did equalise through Hernandez, but Bournemouth have quickly got a second, so the Cherries are 2-1 up. They have also played 79 minutes down at the South Coast. It's still as you are in the other two games in National League. Sutton 1, Chesterfield 0, and FC United 1, Alfreton 0 in National League North.
And you'll be able to text Chris Coles and tell him what you make of this Brewers performance tonight. 81333 and at BBC Derby Sport if Twitter is your preference. We'll bring you all the reaction. We'll try and make sure we also bring you a Burton Albion player or even Nigel Clough himself if we can get hold of him. There's a lot of media here tonight, so I may well have to stick my elbows out Stephen Quinn style to get Nigel Clough on air, but we'll do our absolute best on Radio Derby before 10 o'clock. Of course, the bulletins in Breakfast with Ian Sky is your other place for Brewers news tomorrow morning, and you will want as much of it as you can get if the scoreline remains the same, if it even gets better. 2-1 Burton Albion lead. We're approaching the final 10 minutes of the game. Osborne chipping it down the line, looking for the run on the far side of Grabban. Lolly's approaching into the box. Grabban still has it on the left, and he's tackled well by Ben Fox. Great stuff from the 19-year-old.
Well, he's just stood up there, hasn't he? And Grabban looking to do the fancy feet, and Fox just watched the ball.
Now Grabban has it in a deeper position from the throw, and Hesketh puts in a challenge. No one else was as excited about that as me, but I like a good tackle. And he stuck it well up the north stand. And I'm being told to calm down from the director's box, as I always am when we're here. As Burton Albion lead 2-1. Certainly worth getting excited this evening. I'm sure you have been at home. We have saved you a seat, slightly along from your usual one, next to Chris Coles down there, as the ball's headed back, and now Gonsalves is going to feed it through, looking for Matty Cash. Evtimov's off his line, great gather. And he's just going to check his thigh there, I think, to waste a bit of time more than anything.
I think he stood just caught in Cash as he was running through there, but won't hold him. There's a woman, she must be with the Forest director. Every time Forest go forward, she stands up on the front row of the director's box. She's probably more excited than you.
Well, it's quite hard. As Boyce brings it down. Surely fouled by Hefferler now. Oh, it's been given away straight to Scott Fraser, and now Liam Boyce, left-hand side of the box. He comes into it, thinks about shooting once. He'll try and shoot from a tight angle, looks to square it back. Now Fraser has it. He's going to chip it up to the far post. Hesketh with a volley. Hesketh scores! Burton Albion lead by 3-1, and they're going into the last 8 of the League Cup surely now. A thumping volley by Jake Hesketh in the final 10 minutes of this game has surely sealed this one for Burton Albion. Burton Albion 3, Nottingham Forest 1.
What technique that was from the youngster. Scored a week ago tonight his first goal in senior football with a Messi-like run at Portsmouth. This time the ball's been dinked across the 6-yard box. He's watched it come across his body, kept it and volleyed it past Steele. Steele never moved. The back of the net whistled, and Burton have 3-1 lead.
We spoke at the start about how, since I've been commentating on Burton, it's been rare to see the stadium bouncing and see the stadium in full enthusiasm. Those two, particularly the last two goals there, we've really felt it, haven't we, around us in the south
stand?
stand.
Hopefully it'll bring people, more people back.
It's been quite a night here for Burton Albion. 2 from Scott Fraser and a thumping volley from Jake Hesketh give Burton Albion a deserved 3-1 lead. You forget that Liam Boyce missed a penalty in the 32nd minute. You probably don't, because I keep saying it. But Burton Albion have been superb tonight, and they've got better and better as the game's gone on. They have to still keep getting better for a further 7 minutes, but they've got a free kick in their own half. That'll help. And Forest have got worse and worse. They've been fairly woeful, Tony Bentley.
Yeah, final substitute, the young wingers coming on. Appiah.
Jake Buxton just goes for a jog as well for Burton Albion. He's come on in front of the back four. He's made himself a holding midfielder in recent weeks since his return from injury. I don't think
at the moment they need to do anything.
No.
Though. I think, you just keep it as it is. They're causing problems every time they go forward.
They could get a fourth at this rate. And they really could. It's that sort of game. Boyce still hasn't got one, and he's still looking for one, trying to scrap on the edge of the box. Comes back to Brayford, sends it forward to Fraser, chipped in on the right side of the box. Hesketh is in, chests it down, shoots past the goalkeeper. No, wide of the post. Handball been given against Hesketh. Well, you wouldn't have put it past him scoring again there, Jake Hesketh, but just did seem to handle. I could see the outstretched arm there. It's been a fantastic night for the Brewers this. 84th minute, another substitution will be made. Arvin Appiah.
Bucco's coming on now to mark him.
You follow that guy in the shirt with 4 and 3 on the back, Bucco. That's his thing.
Taking Fraser's just down, so they're going to take him off, which is he's had a brilliant game, hasn't he? I'm sure he'll get the man of the match.
Well, that second finish in particular, where he just got the ball in space, left of the box, composed himself, and then inside of the left foot just sent it past the right hand side of Luke Steele. Great finish, and he's going to get a warm round of applause. Have a listen to this at home, folks.
But he's looked so dangerous every time he's broke forward with the ball.
Fans rise to their feet in the south stand, and quite rightly too. They're always on their feet in the north stand and the west stand, but they're enjoying themselves thanks to Scott Fraser. He got a little rub of the head by Andy Garner as he disappeared into the dugout. The 2 Scottish players are off, and they'll be nice and fresh for the weekend. Jake Hesketh still scrapping for the tackles, and the ball comes into the Burton box eventually, but McFadzean, always there, clears it away on the half volley. Diaz gets clattered, and fairly. Burton come away with the ball. It's Quinn, just turns on it skillfully, patiently. Now Allen running down the right touchline, can't get to the ball. Comes to Boyce, he tries to twist away and he's given it away. And now Burton Albion could be under pressure. It's Appiah, right hand side, up against Akins. Can the captain stop the ball coming in? Yes, he can. It's out for a corner. Good defending from Lucas Akins against Appiah.
Yeah, he just came with Boyce there, just trying to do the fancy turn, didn't he? Just got caught in possession, and you can see the angst of the management down in front of us.
Corner from the right, in swinger, headed over the angle of the bar. It was coming across the near post of Evtimov and just headed up and over, and that summarises the Forest frustration. Matty Cash just has to run back to his own half. 3-1 to Burton Albion. I nearly said 2-1 there because I can barely believe it.
Not sure Hesketh's got a bit of cramp now.
Well, he went down earlier in the half and we were surprised he continued. It was a good thing he did. He scored in the 82nd minute of this game. Bit of treatment taking place. As we say, we'll bring you reaction on 11:16 a.m. from this game up until 10 o'clock. We'll do our best to grab Burton Albion players as well as the manager Nigel Clough to get his view on what could be an excellent night for Burton Albion. It looks as if surely it will be one now. Forest have been woeful for the majority of this game. Burton Albion have got better and better.
I think you did a disservice to Burton though, saying Forest have been woeful. I don't think Burton have let Forest play. Yep. There's enough quality in that Forest team, but Burton just haven't let them do what they want to do. And I think that's the credit to Burton. You know, I agree, you know, Forest haven't been at their best, but Burton, a lot of what Burton's done has made them not be at their best.
No, I agree with that completely, but it's been noticeable how bad the visitors have been, and it's also been very noticeable how Burton have kept getting better and better, and Jake Hesketh won't get a second goal. I think he's really frustrated to have to be coming off, but he's going to disappear down the tunnel for a little bit more treatment. Joe Sbarra is on to replace him. And Burton's 19-year-old academy products will do the duties down the right-hand side. Buxton, he has gone into the midfield alongside Quinn, and he heads one away, and he'll head another one away. And noticeably, the captain's armband has gone to Jake Buxton, I think, but here comes Boyce. He's going to win it back on the edge of the Forest area. Left corner now. Skips past the challenge of Heffler, who's brought out wide, can't get it past Cashew. It's covering back, and it's out for a third corner for Burton from the left-hand side.
Yeah, what Burton done, they push Sordell as the sole striker now, fresh legs up there, and Boyce has come to the left of the three midfielders in front of the two holding ones, but there the ball just broke, and it was Boyce. Still got the legs, you know, he still fancies a goal.
Buxton barking the instructions, of course, booed roundly by the Forest fans for his work at Derby over the years. Quinn comes short for the corner. Boyce is still in the box.
Well, Burton got nobody in the box, that's why.
And Liam Boyce finds Sordell again, the corner kick taker, and now it's Quinn. On to Boyce. Burton happy to kill a few more seconds.
No, it's offside.
And the offside flag has gone up against Burton Albion. 89th minute we're entering. We'll keep an eye out for that board. Nigel Clough shouting on instructions. Great League Cup record. He's on course for his 6th straight win in this competition with Burton Albion against non-Premier League opposition. Man United, the side that knocked Burton Albion last season out of this competition at Old Trafford, and there's teams as big as that left in this competition that Burton will be going to face in the last 8. Derby County could join them if they beat Chelsea tomorrow night at Stamford Bridge. But it's been a wonderful evening for the Brewers to start off your week on Sports Scene so far. Cash will cross from the right-hand side, but it's over everyone, and it just about sums up the visitors' evening, although it is kept in play on the left-hand side. Can it be returned into the box? It goes to Graben. He scored the only Forest goal. Forced out, though, on the left-hand side. Burton holding their line well, back up to the 18-yard area. Comes forward, and it's sussed out there by Quinn. 6 minutes of added time, everyone. It's not over yet, although Forest have just given Burton Albion a goal kick, but 6 minutes of added time. Burton Albion lead by 3 goals to 1. They're heading into the last 8 of the League Cup, but they still have work to do here.
I think there's been a few injuries, haven't there? You know, we've had the goals, a lot of substitutions, and a couple of bits of treatment for Burton players.
Well, Nottingham Forest are going to be given every chance this evening to get this game to penalties, which is where we'll be going if it was a draw. They'd need 2 goals in the remaining 6 minutes of this game. Burton Albion through 2 from Fraser and 1 from Hesketh have cancelled out Graben's goal. Boyce missed a penalty in the first half, but that's been all but forgotten. Watson slides it through now, and now it's slid on once more to Appiah, who's going to shoot. Good save by Evtimov, but Appiah will put it in on the second attempt, and it's Burton Albion 3, Nottingham Forest 2. We've played just over a minute of injury time, and there's drama left in this one still.
Yeah, Evtimov didn't hold the first shot, did he? He's played him around the back there, and he's hit it at Evtimov, and he's not held the ball. It's come back to Appiah, and he's followed up, and Burton just did not need that.
Just into the 2nd minute of injury time, Arvin Appiah following up a save shot from Evtimov. He seemed to be offering a lot of the goal to the Forest forward, who on the second attempt slid it past Dimitar Evtimov. Forest's 2nd goal of the evening. Burton Albion 3, Nottingham Forest 2. Will the 2 strikes from Fraser and the 1 from Hesketh be enough this evening? Sordell's trying to hold it in the corner flag for as long as he can. Doesn't waste any more than a second. Does get a tackle in, but the referee felt it wasn't a fair one. Defending for the yellow shirts to do. They've kept a high press all evening. They're still using 3 players to stay further forward. Sbarra came up as a 4th one but retreats now. Now it's lumped forward but headed away. And Quinn will just boot it straight back down the middle of the pitch and say start again to Nottingham Forest. Dawson does, out to Cash, evades the challenge of Boyce. Burton Albion pushed back towards their 18-yard area. It takes a deflection, McFadzean gets across and he puts it out of play for a corner kick. There's a roar from the Forest fans. There's nerves here in the South Stand.
3 minutes and counting.
Can they do it? Corner from the right, in swinger, headed up and away towards the left corner of the Burton penalty area and hit away on the half volley, and Boyce is down holding his head and there's going to be treatment needed. We're into the final 3 minutes of added time. The referee will be adding this on, just checks his watch over there, and there's a real tension descending in this black night with the floodlights.
Well, the good thing is Burton should get the ball back.
Shining down on that green grass. There's a lot
Brayford.
Yeah, it is Brayford. The ex-Derby man stands up with that distinctive hair. He got that shiner under the eye the other day, and he's going to be walking over towards the left-hand side. It's going to be dropped for McFadzean, who I think has been encouraged to kick it back to Steele.
Okay.
But that will put the ball in the Forest penalty area and allow John Brayford to return. The referee waves him on now. Put short to Hefferler. Brayford just regaining his position now. It's forward towards Akins, who wins an uncontested header. Towards Allen, who gets jumped on by Watson. Scored in the FA Cup final, of course. Helps it on its way. Looking for Grabban, who got the first goal. And Grabban's fouled. Cal McFadzean is remonstrating with the Forest fans, which maybe isn't the wisest thing to do.
Did well there, McFadzean, didn't he? As you say, he does it so often, gets his body between the striker and the ball. Draws the foul.
We're approaching the 50-minute mark of the second half. 6 minutes of added time are being played. Burton Albion lead Nottingham Forest by 3 goals to 2. Fraser and Hesketh are your heroes. They've scored the 3 goals between them. Boyce missed a penalty in the first half but laid on Fraser's second. Then everyone in a yellow shirt will be celebrating this win in under a minute's time if the score remains as it is now. Thrown to the Northern Irishman, Boyce. Flicks it on to Sordell. He'll hit it towards the corner flag and Boyce will be happy to keep it there, but will he run towards goal? He runs towards Matty Cash now and then he takes it back. Sensible stuff from the Northern Irishman. It gets a standing ovation from one man in the South Stand, and he also wins the throw-in. The seconds are continuing to tick away. We're into the final 20 seconds now. Liam Boyce dries the ball on his yellow Burton Albion shirt. This place is about to absolutely erupt if Burton Albion can hold on to this lead. It's thrown to Sordell, turns away from a challenge, finds Boyce, and he's trying to get it back into the corner flag. Sordell's there for him, has to make sure he's not offside, and Boyce still has it in the corner flag at the Forest end of the pitch. He plays it off Watson looking for the corner. Apaya clears it away. Quinn will just head it up towards the edge of the Forest box. We've played the 6 minutes of added time. There was a pause for Brayford to get treatment though. Fox in his own half, and oh dear, he's given away a throw-in. He just stumbled, and now there could be pressure. Good tackle from Quinn. It goes in favour of Burton Albion, and this will surely be it, will it? Depends how much added time for the Brayford treatment on his head. We're approaching the 7th minute of added time here. Burton Albion lead by 3 goals to 2.
Well done, the assistant there. That's the worst foul throw I've ever seen, and the assistant miles away flagged it.
Well, There are people here, including the Burton male's Josh Murray, who do love it when a foul throw gets called. He will have enjoyed that one, I think, because he'll have something to write about in the morning. Burton Albion have won by 3 goals to 2. The final whistle goes. The south, the west and the north stand erupt in joy. And it's because goals from Scott Fraser in the 52nd and 64th minute, as well as Jake Hesketh, a thumping volley in the 82nd, have given Burton Albion a 3 goals to 2 victory over Nottingham Forest. Graben halved the deficit, and that was followed up by Arvin Apaya in the 2nd minute of injury time. The visitors have been woeful, but Burton Albion have made them so. They've been absolutely superb this evening. They've got better and better as the 90 minutes have gone on. And Tony Bentley, you've been watching this team a long, long time. They're into the last 8 of the League Cup. You must have enjoyed seeing that.
Fabulous is all I will say, because it was absolutely brilliant. I think, you know, they thoroughly deserved that. 3-2 actually flatters Forest, because 2-goal advantage I think was a fair reflection of Burton's play tonight. They looked threatening every time they went forward, and you know, yet again a makeshift back 4 for Burton, and be interesting to see what Nigel says. But you know, when Burton play like that, you think, well, why can't they win every week in League One?
Well, you do, and I'm glad you've said more than fabulous, because we're on air till 10 o'clock, Tony Bentley, and I'm sure, certainly if I don't, Chris Coles will definitely need you in that time. There's going to be a real round of applause here for the Burton Albion players, and people are joining in the south stand. They're standing to their feet. John Brayford just giving a high five to Nick Fenton, the physio. There's a big smile on Joe Sbarra's face. He came on as a substitute. Jamie Allen, such an unsung hero, always spinning around with the striker, who was fouled for a penalty but wasn't converted. But it mattered not, because in the second half, Burton